you can get the ad-free experience on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/who's right.
So we go to the hotel, and then we have like supposed to be an hour and a half, 2 hours before we have dinner.
Right.
As soon as we get there, and me being an introvert, I just want to sit in my room with no sound and just decompress.
Just sit. Right.
The president sends me a text and said, "Hey, they moved our reservation up an hour. When can you be ready?" It's like, God damn it.
Tomorrow sometime.
Okay. So in the time that I was in the hotel room, I tried to shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the toilet seat was abnormally low.
How did I know this was going to be a shitting story?
So the toilet seat was abnormally low.
Okay.
Okay. So if my ass is not at the right height from the floor, it's hard for me to poop. Couple that with
so broken.
Couple that with the positioning of the toilet seat. My legs need to spread out a little bit to let my bowels move. Okay. The positioning of the toilet seat meant that I had to sit like a woman because I couldn't spread my legs because the tub was on one side and the countertop was on the other.
Okay.
Okay. So it was like, it was hard. Okay. It wasn't fun. If anybody that's fat that's listening to this understands what the fuck I'm talking about. Trying to wipe, just the whole thing. So I ended up giving up trying to poop, and I cleaned up myself the best that I could. Went down to go out to eat. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we get picked up. It was a taxi, and my travel partner, the president of the company, is super outgoing. So he gets to know everybody, every Uber driver, every taxi driver. He finds out their fucking life story. So the guy that picked us up was a Nigerian, not a prince. Don't even make the fucking joke. And he was talking. It was about a 15-minute taxi ride, and he was. I'm trying to avoid using the president's name.
Sure.
I'll just say coworker from now on to make it easier to tell a story.
Okay.
So, coworker. That sounds stupid too.
Does sound stupid.
So what do I say?
Ronald.
So Ronald, the president of the company. There we go. Ronald was asking the Nigerian taxi driver about how long he's been in the country and how long he's been driving taxi in Chicago. And come to find out that through the course of this trip, the Nigerian guy put his son through medical school by driving a taxi. And it was a really heartwarming story, and the guy was super cool. And as we pulled up to the restaurant, Ronald said to the taxi driver, "Have you ever eaten here?" Keep in mind, I haven't said a fucking word through this whole goddamn...
You're just sitting there quietly.
Yes, I want this trip to be over with. So I'm just sitting there quietly and letting the extrovert do extrovert things. So he's asking the taxi driver, "Have you ever eaten here?" And taxi driver says, "No." Ronald says, "I hope I get full." Nigerian dickhead taxi driver says, turns around, turns all the way around to look at me, and it says, "It looks like you're already full."
What the fuck? You haven't said one word to this
Not
guy?
one fucking word.
He's going to talk shit?
But so the funny thing about it was, Ronald was just in the process. He pulled out two $5 bills to give him a tip. And as soon as he handed it to him, that's when the guy turned around and said, "You look like you're already full." Ronald grabbed the tip and said, "Give me that back."
Seriously?
Yeah.
Good for him. That's awesome. Your kid ain't going to medical school on my dime. Wow. So did he say anything to you?
No. That's the only interaction we had on the whole fucking trip was him calling me Tubby.
No. Your boss, Ronald. Did he say those like, that was rude, or did he say anything, or did he even acknowledge it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
so
hilarious.
Yeah, it's fucking great, isn't it? So part of me was like, I mean, because of the show and the interactions with the listeners, I have developed a tolerance Yeah, so say you, to the fat jokes.
Right.
This is not in that same context. This is like the first time in my life I have ever been publicly fat shamed. And I'm going to tell you something. It hit hard. So I'm on a diet.
So the listeners couldn't do it, but this Nigerian prince could. That's cool.